Okay, dolls, we're going to be jumping into this homecoming makeup tutorial using our Garnier Clearly Brighter moisturizer to moisturize today, and then we'll go into our brows with our NYX Proof It primer, and then we'll be using our NYX micro brow pencil to fill in her brows, and then you know the drill, I'll be using my Perfect Brow Kit just to fill them in a bit. If you want to see a detailed video on how to do my brows, I'll be sure to link that video in the description box below. Yeah, this is what we're going to be dealing with Shay today, you guys. So after she's done playing with herself in the camera, we're going to go ahead and clean up those brows using my M.A.C Studio Finish Concealer in the shade NC45. And to make sure our brows stay put, we'll be using my little magic model in the bottle. I'm not sure why, because this makeup was for you guys and we wasn't really even going anywhere. But then we're going to go in and prime our eyes with my NARS smudge-proof primer just to kind of make sure all the eyeshadow stays put and it doesn't crease. And for all our eyeshadows today, we'll be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going to just put this golden ochre all over her lids just to kind of set everything in place for a smooth transition. And then we're going to go into this burnt orange color and just kind of buff out her crease a little bit. And then we'll be placing the color Real Guard right over that last eyeshadow we just placed, just to kind of give her a little bit more definition, focusing that eyeshadow right in her V area, and I'll just kind of softly blend that into her corner eye. I wanted this look to be very soft because I didn't really want it to be really bold since it's a homecoming look. Now I'm going to take this color Love Letter and place that in her outer V just to kind of give it a little bit more definition. And then I'll be buffing that out using the brush that comes with this little palette. Then I'm going to be taking this jumbo pencil by LA Girl called Cherry Blossom, and I'm just going to place that all over her lid. We're going to be using this as a base to prep our eye for our eyeshadow pigment that we're going to be using. And now we're going to be placing this Inglot number 111 pigment all over that jumbo pencil we just added. And I really hate that my camera don't really do this eyeshadow any justice. It is a beautiful pearl pink color, and in person it is absolutely breathtaking, you guys. And here you just see me going back over her crease area with that color Real Guard right over that eyeshadow we placed, just to kind of buff everything out and make everything look kind of seamless. And then whenever we're using pigments, it can get kind of messy, so I'm going to just wipe that away with a baby wipe. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw in a small wing liner using my Kat Von D Trooper liner. And of course, to prep our lashes for our falsies, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of my Loreal Telescopic Mascara to our lashes. For our falsies today, we'll be using the House of Lashes Iconic Lashes. These are some very beautiful lashes, and Shay has probably worn these lashes about 100 times already. So I've just kind of doctored them back to life, and I'm going to just kind of take my crimpers and kind of curl them up a bit just so they don't look so flat and straight. Now we're going to go ahead and get started with our face. We're going to be using our Sacha mattifying primer just to go ahead and prime her face with this. And then I'll be using my favorite foundation, of course, my Revlon ColorStay in the shade Cappuccino and Caramel. To highlight today, we're going to be using my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Medium Beige. And if you guys notice, my camera was doing something weird with the lighting where it just kept looking orangey. Shay even said, "Mom, I look orange," but I thought she was talking about her foundation, so I went extra light on her concealer today. Usually we'll probably use Cool Tan, but today we use Medium Beige. To set that all in place and tone her highlighter down a bit, I'm going to be going in with my Sacha Buttercup setting powder. And I'm going to be using my sponge because I just like the way it looks when you press it in with your sponge versus the brush. Sometimes when I want to go for that beat look, then this is definitely the way I like to set my powders with my sponge. Dust that off, I'm going to be using my Morphe M438 brush. I love it because it's tapered and got a little point, and it gets right in the corner of your eye and sweeps that all away. I don't really like to bake too long. I like to just put it on and go ahead and sweep it right off. And to contour, I'm going to be using my Makeup Forever HD foundation stick in the shade 180. I like to kind of use this little foundation HD stick because it says HD, and if you're going to homecoming, you're going to be taking lots of pictures, so you want that HD look. I'm also going to use a sponge and a brush to kind of go ahead and buff that all in. And to set all that cream product in place, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Dark Chocolate Soleil bronzer and just kind of place that everywhere where we place that cream product. Whenever I want my cheekbones to kind of have that chiseled look, I'll go back in with my Mercier setting powder and use my sponge and just kind of carve right underneath that contour to make it look nice and sharp. And to dust that all away and make that skin look like butter, baby, I'm going to be using my M.A.C Mineralize Skin Finish in the shade Dark. I love using this stuff to set everything and blend everything in place. It just makes the makeup look so flawless. I wanted a nice and subtle blush look, I'm going to be using my NARS Dolce Vita blush. I really love how muted this blush looks. And then I'm going to go in with my Beige Cosmetics Wild and Radiant Highlighting and Bronzing Palette. And then I'm going to mix all three of these shades together and place this right on her cheekbones, down the bridge of her nose, her cupid's bow, a little bit on her brow bone, just to give her that added glow look. Of course, y'all know I have to be extra. I'm going to put a little bit of that highlighter right in her tear duct, and then I'm going to go in with that color Love Letter again and place that right in her bottom lash line, just because I want to smoke it out just a teensy-weensy bit because I'm not going to be using any liner today. And then I'm going to take the color Real Guard and smudge that out to make everything look really nice and blended. Don't forget to place a little mascara on those bottom lashes. And for our lip cocktail of choice today, I'm going to be using these three from ColourPop. I'm first going to outline the corner of her lips with this ColourPop liner called Roach. I'm only going to place this in the outer corners for a nice subtle ombre effect. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to take this liquid lipstick in the shade Seesaw and place that right in the center. Have her smudge it around a bit. And then I'm going to go in with a very beautiful lip gloss called Tight Fit from ColourPop and place that right over her lips. This lip combo was very, very beautiful. to be sure everything stays put, we're going to be using our Maybelline Master Fit setting spray, and I'm just going to set that all in place and then dry that down with my little fan, and then we'll be going on into the hair category. And I'm going to be using this little one set. Oops. Let's try that again. I'm going to be using this Bella 5-piece one set that I found off Amazon. I'll be sure to try to find the link and post that down in the description box below for you guys. And I'm just going to give her some one curls to the hair that she already had sewn in. And I also pinned up the front of her hair earlier just because I wanted to curl that differently from the ones. I used a curling iron and then I just pinned it. I like the way when you pin it how it falls later. So I'm just going to be doing that with the hair, and you know the drill. You guys stay tuned for the finished look. This pretty much does it for the hair. I'm going to take down my little curls that I pinned earlier and just kind of tease that out a bit. I'm going to add this little head chain to the look after I get through taming those edges down a bit. I just wanted to add a little head chain because this was for all of my homecoming dolls, and I just wanted to give it a little bit of a homecoming glam look. Like I said, she wasn't really going anywhere today. This was all for my homecoming dolls. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Please don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up this video if you liked it. And I will be sure to catch all of you dolls in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, dolls.